Um, and that little thingy is going to come up, and we're actually going to be talking with Shannon J.
Mhm.
Jay's not your last name, right? Is it your last
It
name?
is.
Oh, okay. I thought it was your middle name for some
Mhm.
reason. My middle name's on Facebook, so I was curious.
Yeah, I
So
know my poor son, he has like all first names. He has three first names.
as, as his name, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to be talking with Shannon J today. I'm super excited. She just promoted this last month, so give her some love in the
Mhm.
chats. I guarantee you, it was a hustle last month to make that happen. And we're going to hear a lot about that hustle tonight and what it took to get there. So I'm super pumped for you guys to see someone who's fresh for promotions right now. So if you wanted to share your story briefly, Shannon, go for it.
Mhm.
Share whatever you want with us.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks everyone for hopping on and for having me tonight, Chelsea. I really appreciate it. It's always an honor to be asked to speak on Zooms. I can definitely tell you when I started this business and asked if I could even make $100 that I did not expect to ever be doing Zoom trainings for other teams in the company. So I started this business over 3 years ago. I was actually a customer first, and I had found expired product in my cupboard and could not afford new products. It was even the keto coffee, which like looking back is like kind of gross because that's got like grass fed butter that was obviously expired. But I lost 10 pounds my first month using this expired product. And I messaged the girl and was like, I need more. Like, I don't know how I'm going to get more, but I need more. And she was like, well, you could make money with me and then they'll pay for your products. And I was like, people don't make money online. Like, can I even make $100? And I took 2 weeks, I think, to think about it. My husband was not super into it. I had actually done another business before this, and it was a huge fail. Spent a ton of money on product, and didn't even have a single customer. It was awful. So we kind of had like some PTSD, basically, I would say, from that experience. But talking to my enroller, learning about HAPS, just kind of how this company is different. We don't have to have stock. We never have to buy product to show people and have all this stuff in our house. I was like, you know what? I just feel like this is it, and I have to go for it. Took off running, got into HAPS right from the beginning. I can tell you, my mom was my 20th customer. So my network was definitely not into what we do, which is probably why the previous business had kind of flopped. And it's just kind of exploded from there. I started running so I started in February, and in March I promoted to Ruby. In April, I promoted to Emerald. And then in May, I promoted to Diamond and earned our $15,000 bonus that we had on the table at the time. Right now, it's more money, guys. Run for that $20,000 right now, which is even better. And then it's just kind of taken off from there. I like what Mark says, and he says, like, cut the rope. Like, there's no plan B. 5 months into the business, we bought our brand new F 150, and we paid for that with the bonus money. So, without this business, we could never have afforded a truck. And then the next summer, we bought our trailer, and right now we are building our dream house. We actually just got hydro, which is so exciting because now they can do our drywall and everything inside. And this is definitely not somewhere that we ever pictured ourselves being. We actually went through some goals that we had. I think it was only 2 years ago, even, and it was like to build a house in the next 10 years. So the fact that we're building a house in like 2 years later is absolutely crazy. It's mind blowing. And know that you guys can do whatever you want and you are in charge of your income. I like that our company is way more of a tree. I hate like pyramids because it's not a pyramid. I was the number 97 income earner in the company last year, and that's as a diamond. So I made a lot more money than people that had higher ranks than me. So you guys get to control that and choose that based on the efforts that you are putting in. You're going to see the reward and reap the harvest.
I love your story, and I've never actually formally heard it before.
Mhm.
So thank you for sharing that. And it's crazy
Yeah.
how even like me at a diamond level, I
Hmm.
think to myself like I can relate to you so much when it comes to
Hmm.
your income and having a higher income
Hmm.
sitting at
Right?
a lower
Yeah.
rank. Like people think that when
Hmm.
you hit diamond, like you're automatically you have to go for the next rank and you have to go for the next thing. Of
Hmm.
course you want the bonuses. Absolutely. The bonuses are like game changing. That's how we built the
Yeah.
addition on my house too. So I can relate to you
Yeah.
on that. Those bonuses are real, guys. They are not fake.
Mm-hmm.
They are literally the realest thing ever, and you can pay big, big things with it. And think
Mm-hmm.
about like a 9 to 5 job too. Like, there's no way a 9 to 5 job is going to hand you a $20,000 bonus ever.
No,
Never going to
no.
happen. So
Mm-hmm.
this industry is going to give you the bigger bonuses to be able to
Mm-hmm.
pay things in one lump sum. If you've got
Mm-hmm.
credit card debt, or
Mm-hmm.
you've got a house to pay for, or an addition on our house like we did, or a brand new vehicle, like she said, she bought a new vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
all the things. I think that that's
Mm-hmm.
probably the biggest blessing, is those bigger bonuses too. But the
Mm-hmm.
residual side effect of it, you
Yes.
sound like you built a really good platform for that, because you're saying, oh well,
Mm-hmm.
I had a bigger income at a diamond level,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and it's like that must have meant that you would have had a lot more people who were all in, right?
Yeah, so we build wide,
Build
built very, very wide. Success bonuses were huge, lots and lots of success bonuses last year. Um, and the other thing I'm just going to point it, because I know probably a lot of your team is US, right? So we're Canadian. So our bonuses are more, right? Because when you do the conversion, so for our team that's on here, I think the $20,000 US bonus ends up being almost 27 in Canadian. So it's pretty sweet what you can do with those things. And yeah, definitely growing wide. And everyone keeps saying like, so my title, my promotion from last month might be double diamond, like Shannon J's double diamond. But I keep saying it's a team. Like, we are a double diamond team. I would not be where I'm at without the people that are working with me, below me, that are hustling just as hard as I am. Just because, and I like this too, just because someone else gets something before you do does not mean that you're not going to get it, right? So just because I hit this new rank does not mean that everyone else on your team, Chelsea, on my team, are not going to. It just hasn't been your time yet, but it's coming. Like, if you keep working for it, it's gonna come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I like that you mentioned high and wide. We actually haven't had anybody on this Zoom series talk about that. And I think that's
Mm-hmm.
very, very important. That was actually that I know that like my upline, who was Canadian,
Mm-hmm.
taught that. And I think we have the same upline. So
Mm-hmm.
she taught high and wide, because that builds the
Yeah.
strong residual. And that's why
Yes.
as diamond rank or double diamond rank, we get paid more, because we are
Mm-hmm.
building and helping more people spread out on our team.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not necessarily that we're just not that next rank, and you know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
we're making probably the same amount of money that they're making, if not
Yeah.
higher, right?
Yeah.
Depending on how they're building. If they're building high and wide, then they're probably making more.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Yeah.
don't learn that when they first come in. So I'm really
I know. And it's important. That's where it's like, when you see the income disclosure statement, like, there's a monthly high for the rank, right? And then there's an average. So everyone doesn't make the average, right? A lot of us make more, some make less. But yeah, just knowing that the opportunities and the possibilities are not always based on rank.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Thank you for saying that, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think that someone on here definitely probably needed to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to ask a question, because I know that you went for a double, and I know what that feels like, going for a promotion.
Mm-hmm.
It is that it's like a high, right? Like, you were just
Yes.
like at this all-time high, like you just ended a workout and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what it was like going double diamond, and what that
Mm-hmm.
focus was like.
Yeah. So one of the first things that I've been enjoying telling people is that I have been trying to go double diamond for 3 years. Ever since I went diamond. Okay. So those of you that are feeling like, even if it's ruby, you're like, oh my gosh, I've been trying for so long to hit ruby. The rest of us are feeling it too, right? We've been there. That next rank feels like it's just like right at your fingertips. But I am just always reminded that in order to hit the next level, you need to level yourself up. You are never going to hit that next level until you are personally ready. And you might tell yourself, I'm ready. I'm ready. I leveled up. You can always be doing more, growing yourself. And when it is time, when you have leveled up, then it will happen. And yeah, it's a grind. It's a long grind. It's definitely not something that just happens in 1 month. I can tell you that for sure. It's planning, it's building team, it's growing leaders, it's doing all the things consistently over time. over time. And that's what it is, right? Like you cannot rush anything. There's no timeline on your journey. And we're business owners, we're entrepreneurs. And so everyone's journey is going to look different as well. And that's okay. So yeah, it's definitely a lot of teamwork, a lot of effort. It's the funniest thing is I had a really, really rough February. So I guess it's not funny, but I had an awful February. Like I think I had like my lowest customer enrollments and distributor enrollments in a very long time. We lost my granny. And yeah, I don't think I left my bed for probably 2 weeks. And then we had a family vacation into Florida and I came back and just the fire that my team kept while I was kind of down and out and away fueled me so much when I came back because I was like, holy cow, like they're still going. They're still going. Even like when I had to step back or whatever, it didn't stop them. So I knew that like they had grown so much themselves and that I was ready to keep running with them. So then March was crazy, crazy month. And everyone just worked hard together. I did a lot of coaching calls, a lot of, okay, you are going this rank this month. So what do we have to do? A big thing too that I learned recently. So we had in Canada an event called Winter Wonderland last December that I don't remember. I think 20 of us earned. And it was all like leaders there. And it changed so much in my business talking to other leaders and what they were doing. Because again, like I joined right before COVID. So I had only done online stuff. Like I didn't even know who these people were, never even met them, didn't even like hear of them. And hearing their perspectives and the different things that they were doing with their team and all the things. And I was able to come back and implement a lot of those. And definitely one of the main things was developing other leaders on your team and giving them the space to be leaders. I definitely went through, and it's a insecurity, I think, of control, feeling like I needed to like tell everyone what to do and like this is how you do this and this is how you do this and there's no other way to do it and this is what you have to do. And I just had to like let that go. I'm like, everyone's going to be their own person. Everyone's going to lead differently. And that's what we want. It's that collaboration of different ideas coming together that make a team and grow it so much stronger. If you are controlling like I was, you're putting a cap. You're putting a cap on your organization, you're putting a cap on your income, and you're never going to go above that. You need to bring other people in, you need to hear their ideas, you need to grow with them. And that is what is going to take your business really far.
Yeah. I love that so much. And, I did the same exact thing. What I call bulldoze over my team when I first started.
Yeah.
I started 6 years ago and that was literally what it was like. It was like everybody said, you just gotta He-Man it,
Right.
go through it. You've got to hustle. You've got to do all the work. You've got to push forward, but it is so much easier with a team, right?
Yes. So much easier.
With people who are actually signing people who are actually willing to work the same pace that you're working, right?
Yes.
If not more, and people who are growing. And I think that's important. So I know that there's someone on this team call that needed to hear this, but I know that I needed to hear that reminder. I always need to hear that reminder of let them be leaders, let them lead. Let them lead themselves. Let them lead other people. Let them give their ideas. And when you do that, you empower them to make the decision themselves, right? So that they're not waiting around like, Shannon, when are you going to give me this answer, right?
Right. Yes, exactly. And like when I had a tough month, they kept going, right? Like they weren't relying on me to tell them what to do. Like they were still doing it. They were not letting my absence and difficult times stop them from chasing their dreams and going after their why, right? Like they kept, it was inspiring.
That's how it should be. Absolutely. And we think about it like this. I don't know what your upline looked like or anything, but I know like when I first started, my upline quit within 2 months. So I automatically was put into a Chelsea, you've got to lead yourself situation, right?
Wow.
Can you imagine, having people on your team right now who, you just quit and walked away? Would they themselves? That's the type of leadership that you want to instill in them. And
Mm-hmm.
you got to figure out their why, and you got to make sure that not that you know their why, they need to know their why,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Because when they know that, then it's like, okay, well, they will lead themselves when I'm not here because they want it more than anything. So
Yes.
I love that you touch base on that. So as far as your overall business in total,
Mm-hmm.
what would be, I would say what would you say your biggest tip would be?
So biggest tip is consistency. 100% consistency over and over and over and over. So one of my favorite quotes that I've heard lately is successful people do consistently what average people do occasionally. Okay, I'm gonna repeat it because I love it. Successful people do consistently what average people do occasionally, right? And you can take that and put it into your business. You can take that and put it into a weight loss goal, anything, right? Like you need to show up daily. You need to do the things if you want to get somewhere. You can't, oh, I'm gonna post today and then I'm not gonna post for a week and then oh, maybe I'll post in my story today. That sounds kind of fun. And it can't be based on your feelings either. Like I can tell you, I do not wake up every single day going, I want to show my face because, I had an awful sleep. The kids were up. It was, I'm exhausted. But we do it. We do it anyways because we have to have some like force with ourselves, right? Keeping us motivated. Find what's going to motivate you, what is going to make you do the things even when you don't want to. Having that self-discipline, right? And when you do those things over and over and over and over, things are just going to grow that much more. I keep telling everyone, I'm like, you guys are doing everything that you need to do. You just need to do more. You just need to do more to get where you want to go. More haps, more messages, more talking to distributors, right? And again, all of that comes through consistency. And a lot of it then shows through other consistent things. So if you're sending the messages but not posting, they're going to be like, who is this person? Like, we don't know what she's doing, what she's about. Like, so then when someone goes to your wall, you've messaged them, what are they going to do? They are going to go creep your page. You need to make sure that your page is like nice, right? Aesthetically, that is your open sign for your business. And then it's you, right? It's your brand. So yes, definitely consistency, even when you don't want to.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And that's like a muscle, like you
Yeah.
gotta practice it. It doesn't just come overnight. I'm sure that consistency didn't come overnight with you, and it didn't for me.
Yeah. I will say though, like my color personality is a red yellow. And listening to like Ashley Mayfield's like podcast about the color personality, she calls us the workhorses. We're just kind of the like get down and go. So yeah, definitely it helps.
It's so crazy because I feel like you and I could probably be best friends because I'm a red yellow also. So
Well, there you
I'm like
go.
I'm like a yellow red mix. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get it 100%. And I think that
Yeah.
that's where our leadership, like it's kind of
Mhm.
like, I don't know if you feel this on our team, but it's like click, 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 click. Everything's just like clicking together for us.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes. Yes.
yeah, I love it. It's gaining momentum and I see it. I feel it.
Mhm.
And I feel like what we feel, our team's probably feeling the same exact thing. And so
Yes.
guys, you were in the best spot on the best team right now for what we've got for you guys. It's like
Right.
best thing ever. So
I know. And I feel like too, the biggest thing is like when we're promoting, it's like our team is promoting, and that's almost more exciting. Like to
mhm.
talk about the money that the people in my downline are earning is like crazy what they're doing with their income from this business. It like makes me want to cry, even just like talking about it, what this is doing for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And you probably shout those things out quite frequently on your page and stuff like that to gain momentum, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, because we talk about that a lot and how,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to sharing success, and I know I just added that new board in the albums or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
about different people's story and everything. And I think it's important to hop on these Zoom calls, not only because it fuels your fire to hear other people's
Mm-hmm.
stories. And that's, I don't know about you, but like that's what built my belief in this business was like hearing everybody else's story, and even hearing your story. I'm like, wow, I can connect to you like crazy, right?
Yeah.
Um, and so also, like, if you are feeling like, just for everyone, if you are feeling like you can connect to Shannon's story, what do you think your entire Facebook's going to feel about Shannon's story? Right?
Yeah.
So get out there. We, as leaders, we give you permission to share our stories, to share, how we got to where we are and the things that we went through and, like the ups and downs and the, highs and lows and everything. Take it, use it to your advantage, share it. That's why we do it. That's why we share it every single day. Because that's going to help you ultimately. So I appreciate that. So as far as, I know I have that last question there, and it's about your favorite book and favorite author. I've just got to know, because we've got a really big personal development team here. Okay. Gotta know.
I know. So that's actually something that I'm going to say changed up in March. So we always run like team contests for like HAPs and enrollments and things. But in March, we did what I like to call our mindset challenge. I personally, and this is maybe an ego thing, do not like the term self-development because it makes me feel like I'm not good enough the way that I am. So I like the term mindset development because it's how you think, right? It's how you think about yourself. It's how you think about other people. It's how you think about the world and how things work. So we call it our mindset challenge. And every day they have to listen to like a podcast or read a chapter of a book or something. And then they post it and a little blurb about what they learned. So again, I think we never emphasized it enough. So that again just goes to show what power that brought to us in March. That small change, I would say, to everyone. So I am not a huge reader. I am way more a podcast girl. I listen to my podcast when I'm driving my son to daycare, and it's just like two birds with one stone. And I right now am loving Craig Groeschel. He has a leadership podcast, and oh my gosh, it is just like that quote that I said earlier. I'm pretty sure is from him. I could say Craig Groeschel quotes like left, right, and center. He is just genius and has changed the like direction of my leadership and like the growth through it. Two other books that I really liked, they're for like, I'd say newer to mindset things, are You Are a Badass. I really like that one. And Girl Wash Your Face. I read those two really early in my business, and then realized I didn't have time to read, so had to find a different way to fit it in. And that's the thing, guys, right? There's so many different ways that you can grow your mind. So find the way that works best for you and is not necessarily going to be extra work. Again, if things are easier, you're going to be more consistent with it. You're going to enjoy it. So like listening to my podcast while we're in the car, driving to daycare, it is perfect.
Yeah, I love podcasts too. And it's funny that you say Craig Groeschel because I listen to his too. So yeah, it's so crazy. And that was actually referred to me from an upline like 4 years ago.
Nice.
And so, yeah, I've been listening to him too. So I get why you're at where you're at, like your mindset, because his words are just so good. He is so good. And he's a leader of leaders, which is like what you want to be. So I'm glad that you said that. And as far as Girl Wash Your Face and You're a Badass, we actually have a lot of girls on our team who have read that one too, so they can relate to that for sure. And so as far as the rest of the Zoom call, I just want to kind of leave it up to you if there's anything that you want to share or anything that's on your heart that you've been thinking about that you just want to put out there. And then if anybody has any questions for Shannon, ask them in the chat, let her, kind of answer whatever you guys got, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, I think the last thing is, again, just in regards to leadership. And again, this is from Craig Groeschel. I'm telling you, he is like a genius, guys. You need to go listen to his podcast. But his thing is when we are developing and empowering other leaders, part of that is what he says, delegating authority, not delegating tasks, right? Giving those other leaders on your team the ability to be creative, right? Like give someone, say, hey, can you make up the contest for the month, right? Do whatever you want. So that's where we need to let go of our control. And it also makes them more, I'll say, dedicated to the cause, right? They're more committed, they're more involved, they're doing more, they're seeing more. Something else that I really like that we do is we have a team group chat, and there's one leader on my team that has a day of the week and they do the tasks. So it's constantly rotating. So we're constantly having new ideas, new posts, new stories. And that's done really well too, right? Because then we're giving more, delegation of that authority for them to do things, and finding different things for people to do as you're going up through your leadership.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
also great. Just kind of, spinning off of you. I
Mm-hmm.
know Ashley Mayfield talks about that too a lot, and
Mm-hmm.
delegating across her team and talking about how the color personalities definitely make a huge difference with that. When you
Mm-hmm.
agree?
Yes. Oh, 100%. The first, like in our first day of training, when new distributors come in, I get them to do a color personality test because I want to know what's going to motivate them, what's going to keep them going, what kind of things they can like bring to the team, right? And contribute.
Yeah, that's so good.
Mm-hmm.
I never even thought about doing that the first day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's such a
Yeah.
good little nugget. So as far as the chat goes, I don't really see any questions in there. So I think that we're good with that. But
Mm-hmm.
I do want to say, Shannon, I appreciate you. Congratulations on that double diamond. Like I've been rooting
Thank
for you from
you.
day one, and I'm so excited to see you hit that next level. Your team is killing it. And I know a few of you girls personally, and I just love
Mm-hmm.
them. I think that you're doing
I
such an awesome
know.
job. And you're doing an awesome job. Your team is seriously on fire right
Thank
now. So,
you. It's definitely like a proud mama bear. Is kind
yes,
of how I
good.
feel.
I feel that.
Proud mama bear.
Yeah, that's so good. All right. Well, I appreciate you, girl. And thank you
Thank you
guys
so
for
much,
hopping on.
Chelsea.
Thank you guys.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
All right. Thank you guys for hopping on also. And we're going to do it again next week. So make sure you hop on here. We'll have some more leaders. And Shannon killed it. We'll put this in the chat, the recording and stuff. Okay.
Thanks.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.